Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video where I'm finally going to be answering all your questions and responding to a lot of the comments that have come in on the past couple videos that I put out, which again, I thank you guys so much for the comments, the likes, the new subscribers to the channel. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I'm glad that some of the videos can help you out in some kind of way. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you find some kind of use out of this and all the questions that are asked. And if you guys come up with any other questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'd love to make another video on those ones as well. If I missed anything, please hit me up in the comments. If you're new to the whole gig, congratulations. I hope your journey is well and it suits you. I hope you have fun and try not to stress too much about it. Remember that the job is what it is. It's a pretty chill job. You don't have a manager up on your back breathing down your neck, and you're out on the road all on your own, you know. But other than that, if you guys are ready to get into some answers, to hear some answers, let's get into the questions. First off, I want to thank you guys for putting the questions down. This comment came in about a month ago asking for me to do a Q&A. So from this person here, per your request, thank you so much for putting that comment out, and I'll be answering a lot of your questions along with a mixture of a lot of other people's questions that have come along the way since you asked for the Q&A. So without further ado, let's get into it. So question number one, how do you feel about parking on the opposite side of the road? To be honest with you, I'm not like, you know, an angel when it comes to this job. I don't follow, like, I'm not the by the book kind of person. I am, my shoulder. I am, but I'm also not. If there's a way to cut down time, there are things that I'm gonna do to cut that time down, whether it be a few seconds, a minute, or something like that. I'm gonna do it, and this is one of them. I do park on the opposite side sometimes when it calls for it, and I'm gonna tell you, I did. A cop did pull up to me once. I was already parked on the side, but a cop did pull up, and he gave me the rundown of, you know, now I didn't see you park on this side, but let me tell you why you shouldn't be parked on this side. And then we went through this whole spiel of the reasons why. And you know, like I gave him an apology, and I told him, like, look, I'll park on this side, totally get it. But the difference in some neighborhoods that you need to pay attention to is that the neighborhood that I was in at that time, it had double yellow lines or double white lines, one of the two, down the road. And a lot of the neighborhoods that I deliver to, they don't have those, but this neighborhood did. And so, yeah, I wasn't supposed to cross over, but again, he said, I didn't see you do it, so I won't write you a ticket, but please, like, if there are double white lines, don't cross them. If anything, just turn around, right? So yes, I'll do it, but in my experience, I've gotten talked to by a cop, and yes, it's not the right thing to do. You can do it, and he also even said, like, I get it, you know, your job is about, like, efficiency and trying to be fast and all that, but again, like, you also have to abide by the law. And so again, there are some neighborhoods that don't have those double yellow or double white, and I'll do it. And then there are some that have it, and now I know, don't do it. So same to you guys, like, do it at your own risk. Yes, I do it, and yes, I don't. All right, question number two, do you leave the van idling? Ooh, okay, so now a lot of the vans at my dispatch or my DSP, they have mainly EDVs, where you don't have to worry about turning the car off or on. If it's in the white van, there are times that I do, and again, times that I don't. If I'm driving from one spot to another and it's like just a few hundred feet in front of me, if it's a quick drop off, yes, I'll do it. If I'm not gonna be there for a long time, where it's like there are sometimes, you know, where one stop is 2 or 3 different locations. If that's the case, then yes, I'll turn it off, because I have to, one, get all the packages together, and then I have to go and walk outside and deliver them all. But if it's just quick stops, like one stop and the next one is a one stop and the next one is a one stop, and they're just like right there with each other, yeah, I'm parking, I'm leaving it idle. Make sure you put it in park. There have been times where I forgot to put it in park, and when I'm stepping out of the van, and luckily it's always on the driver's side, that I've done it, and I stepped out and the car was moving, and I had that, you know, I had to rush and put it into park. So if you guys leave it idling, make sure everything, you put it in park, you put on the emergency brake. The white vans that we have now, Dodges, they don't have an e-brake handle. It's just as soon as you put it in park and then you wait like a second, it goes, the emergency brake turns on by itself. So it's kind of a plus on the white vans that we have now. As far as idling goes, again, choose your spots. You know, that's all I can say. I do it, and then I don't do it. It just depends on the location and how many stops there are. So yeah, at your own risk. I'm always say that. At your own risk, do it at your own risk. The next question is, how do you feel about pay? Look, to get paid $23 for driving and just dropping off packages, I think is great pay. Now, this is also going to depend on what your lifestyle is like and the things that you have to pay for. $23 may not be enough for you, where you have to work multiple jobs. $23 an hour for steady pay, that's an extra, you know, possible $1,700 if you work all 10 hours. At the end of the day, like, it to me, it's good pay. So I think, again, it just depends on your situation and what's going on in your life and the things that you have to pay for. I think this is a great addition to my life that allowed me to do certain things or extra things in my life. So that's the way that I see it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I enjoy the pay. I definitely enjoy the pay. At your own risk, you know, enjoy the pay at your own risk. Okay, question 4. What's the toughest part about learning the job? That's a great question. I think the toughest part is learning organization and then learning your routes. Those two things I think are the toughest. Other than that, like, I think everything else is kind of like there for you. The app does everything for you. It's kind of straightforward. Other than that, they don't really tell you how to organize in the training. Where they do, but the warehouse is not necessarily going to organize it that way. You have to look at your app or look at the paper that they gave you and then see if it matches as far as like what you have in the cart and if it's in order. If it's not, sometimes it's like middle, bottom is over here, or the next one is over here, then the next one is down here, and then you have to like scramble all the totes all around or whatever. But organization is definitely one of the toughest things to get down in the beginning, because you could just toss everything into the vans once you know get to the loading dock, but you're going to find out very soon that once you get to your first stop, you're going to spend more time in the van trying to organize everything. So it's best that you try to organize everything as you're loading, which it's possible. You get 15 minutes, it's possible. I think organization is definitely the first thing you need to get down, and then learning your route. Your route is going to change. It's not going to stay the same. You'll get different areas of the same area, but then you'll eventually land. Like right now, I see I'm back at where I first started when I first started this gig. This is the first route that I've done, but there are different routes that I've gotten, but we're kind of like circulating around the same areas now. So trying to understand that, and the app is not going to do the best job at getting you around on your route. I don't know what's up with it. I don't know how to make it better. You can take over the route and like say, look, I want to do this one next, I want to do this one next, or whatever. But that may take you more time to do that. I don't know, man. Like, I've done it before, and they've called me and said, hey, you're running behind because I skipped to an apartment complex that I wanted to get done and over with. It wasn't until later that day that I was supposed to do it, but for some reason, since the app, something with the app shows that I was behind because I did that. So you have to be careful with that. My boss told me, like, oh, it was nothing. It was just because you skipped. Amazon's app sees it as something that kind of puts you behind. So why they don't put you on the same route, so that you understand, like it just makes more sense that once you understand a route, you'll be faster. So why not keep that person there rather than cycling everyone through different routes? That's a question I want to know too, but I don't know. I could give you the answer, but other than that, those two things are were the toughest parts of the job for me. I'd like to know what your guys' toughest thing about the job is. If you guys just started, or if you're a few months in, or few years in. I'd like to know your guys' experience and your answers on that one too. So let me know in the comments down below. Next question. Okay, the next question is pros and cons of my DSP. Okay, so here's the thing. There's going to be pros and cons about every job. There are cons about this one, but I don't necessarily want to name them because they're small gripes like any job would have. I could be like, it's too much work. Like, it's the job. You know what I mean? Like, the only gripe that I really have is we don't have the best dollies, because when it comes to big packages like that, I don't mind moving them, but just give me a good dolly, because that would shorten some time of me having to carry them separately because they're so big. But if we had some really good dollies, that definitely could help out the process. So as far as cons go, you could think of cons at your work. I'm sure they're going to be very similar to the cons that I have at mine. Pros: no boss breathing down my neck. You're out on the road. If you love traveling, I love driving, and my work is 30 minutes away, so you get some time to really relax and get that stress out before the day even starts. You get paid well. There is possible 401k, dental insurance, pet insurance, which is a very big plus. And then again, like, it's full-time, 80 hours, so there's a guarantee if you put in the work that you'll get really good money. Now, I work 4 days out of the week, and it's 2 days on, I get 2 days off, and then 2 days on again, then 1 day off. So again, the scheduling is very flexible, and I haven't had any problems when I had to call in or if I couldn't make it that day. They're very flexible with that. They haven't made me feel like pressure where it's like, oh, okay, well, we have to talk kind of thing. But yeah, more pros than cons at my dispatch. That's just because of where my mentality is as far as where this job is at. Some people may have a different opinion because of what they're expecting out of the job, but that's something else to kind of look at is, what are your expectations out of this? I don't have a lot of expectations, which is also why I think I can't really think of any cons that really stick out that make me feel like, ugh, this job, you know what I mean? Like, this job's all right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that bad. Or I've had some people tell me, like, it's not worth it. Don't do it. Like, definitely don't do it. Go somewhere else. Da-da-da. Like, I'm sorry it didn't work out for those people, but, it's worked out for me. I'm still here. So take that with what you will, and apply that to your life too. So again, at your own risk. Yeah. The next question is, do I plan on getting the certification for the step van? And the answer to that, you get $1 extra, which can be huge. But the step vans don't have AC. It's summertime, and they don't have heaters, so when it's wintertime, it's not the best conditions in that thing. Okay, next question. How is overtime? I wouldn't know, because my dispatch doesn't offer overtime. If you do, you let me know in the comments down below how it is for you. The next question is, do some of the dispatches not give out the blue vest? If you don't know, in the beginning you do start off with a yellow vest, and from my experience, or from my knowledge, it usually lasts about 3 months before you get your blue. You got to pass your 90-day probationary period before you get the blue vest. But there have been instances that I've seen where some people get them like maybe 2 weeks into starting the job. It's happened different times, you know what I mean? And we have new management, so things are a little bit different. But from what I know, every dispatch will give you one of these blue vests. In my experience, again, it's supposed to happen in 3 months. At the 3-month mark, a lot of the people that I was with that started at the same time got their blue vest, but I was the last one to go up, and they didn't have any more. This was at the 3-month mark. It took them another month and a half to finally give me a blue vest, and that was from me nagging them every time that they came in, and it was always like another excuse. Now, that management is gone, so again, like, it's different now, but yeah, I had asked them, and it was constant until I was like, look, yo, guys, when am I getting my blue vest? And then finally one of them was like, oh, you know what, hold on. And they finally went back and grabbed it. And it's like, dude, if it was that easy to just go back and grab it, why didn't you just go back and grab it while I was asking for it? You know what I mean? But that was my experience. So again, if you haven't gotten yours at 3 months, nag the shit out of them. At your own risk, though. Okay, the next question is, are employers mean? What? Oh, okay, so the question is, are employers mean if you're not fast enough, or are they ready to fire you if you make a lot of mistakes? For mine, no one's mean. I haven't experienced that at all. When it comes to making mistakes, they've been pretty good with at least wording, what should be done, but you're not going to get a lot from training. You're going to get like a quick run through of what you should be doing. So yes, you're going to make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but the important thing is that you just learn from it. Don't get downed by, oh, well, I made a mistake, this could really fuck me up, da 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 da. Like, look, own up to your mistakes. It's the only way. but learn from them as well. Any company is going to be ready to fire anyone who makes major mistakes and doesn't own up to them. So it's best that you own up, see what you can do to help the situation next time. Ask your boss, ask your coworkers. It's the best way to gain knowledge and just to get better at what you're doing if you want to keep this job. So at your own risk. Next question, how many stops on your first day? First day, I would say that I had about 75 stops that day. I finished around 2 o'clock, and it's going to be like that for the first 2 to 3 weeks. Is you're going to have nursery routes that are only 50, 75, less than 100. So I miss those days of the nursery routes, man. I can tell you that much. Next question, starting pay. We went over that. For me, it's $23. It's going to be different in different states, wherever you're at, but here in California, starting pay is $23 for that job. Next question, new Amazon gloves. New Amazon gloves. The Amazon gloves are great. If you're talking about the orange and gray ones, orange, white, and gray ones, they're amazing. I love those ones. I bought a couple of different ones from Lowe's, and I still go back to the Amazon ones. If you're trying to figure out how to get them, I noticed that in the warehouse where we get our packages and everything, there's a vending machine that has the gloves in them, but you have to have a certain type of badge in order for you to buy them or to get them. And I kept on good terms with the trainer that trained me, and so like when I do need them, I've asked him to get them for me, and he'll get them for me. So yeah, those gloves are great. I love them, dude. The next question is, can I lose weight? This question can go a lot deeper than what I'm going to be giving you now, but yes, you can lose weight, but I'm going to tell you now that don't just depend on the work to help you lose weight. It's all about your dieting. 70% of losing weight is diet. Right? What you eat is going to vastly determine how fast you lose weight, or the kind of weight that you lose, or the kind of weight that you gain. It could be muscle gain, it could be fat gain, it could be muscle loss, it could be fat loss. So yeah, you get a lot of cardio here. You're doing a lot of stairs, a lot of walking uphill. So your legs are getting a lot of work. But just remember, you eat junk while you're doing all that stuff. It's not really going to make you feel good in losing weight. If you want to feel good about losing weight, eat right. Eat the right things, and then use this as a way of getting your cardio in. Keep track. I've used my iWatch a couple times on tracking my steps, and I've usually clocked in. Oh, not my steps, but my calorie count, and I usually clock in around 600, 700 calories in a day working 10 hours, and there's a lot of calories, you being burned. So you want to make sure that you're eating right when doing so. So yes, you can lose weight, but make sure that you're eating right as well. So next question, is it like Walmart Spark? If you guys don't know what Walmart Spark is, it's like Uber or Uber Eats or like Amazon. Again, it's just another app where you Spark will give you an order, and you go and pick it up. If you accept it, you go and pick it up and then deliver it to the people that ordered it from online. And yes, in a sense, it is. Amazon Flex is more like Walmart Spark, but working for a dispatch is not like that in that sense, but just how things run are going to be very similar. You go, you pick up your packages, you scan them, you go drop it off, you take a picture, and then you move on, right? That whole process is the same, but yeah, you're doing it on your own. So, other than that, the process is going to be the same, but the workload is going to be different. Next question, working in the heat. Oh, it is summertime right now, and I've worked a few times, so less than maybe 5 so far. This is my first time working in the heat, and it was somewhere like around 95 to 100 degrees on a few of those days, a couple of those days maybe, but it's tough. You got to make sure that you are prepared, because there are some days where I forget a towel, or I'd never forgotten water. Water is a huge one. Like, make sure that you always have water, which during the summertime, once summer started, our warehouse was really good about putting waters out for us. So we do get that. But I absolutely love it when customers have cold drinks ready to go, or they ask you like, hey, you want a drink? And they go inside and they grab it from the fridge or whatever. Oh, absolutely love them for that. Because yes, working in the heat is tough. And again, if you're working in a step van, 10 times as tough, because again, you don't have an AC. It's a metal box, and the heat is just gonna build inside there. So I feel bad for those who do get those trucks on those days. You know, if you do that, let me know, is it worth the extra dollar? I just don't think that it is, you know what I mean? So yeah, working in the heat, be very prepared. I have a cooling towel, so when it gets wet, it stays nice and cool. Make sure you have plenty of water. If you feel faint, please pull over and rest, yeah, or call your dispatch, let them know you're not feeling good or whatever. Just don't try to do too much in the heat. I've gotten to the point where there are times I felt very lightheaded because I was really trying to push and trying to get out of there as fast as I can. But again, we get those little times and moments of getting in the van and having the AC blowing on you. You take a few seconds and just like cool yourself off. But I also got me one of these. This is off of I think it was off of TikTok or Instagram. It is a little fan that you clip to your belt, and it blows, hold on, it blows air up your shirt. And I find that when I'm trying to cool off, it's not so much about the air blowing on my face, like when the AC is blowing, I put the AC on my face. It's not so much that, it's like when I do this, put my arm in front and let the air go down my sleeve, that feels really good. So this was only 20 bucks. It's really heavy duty, really well made, and it's got 5 different power settings. You have 1, you can hear it. 2, here, if you can see it, hold on. This is 2, 3, oh, you can't see that, but you can hear it. 4, 5. So again, like for me, I hate the heat. Absolutely hate the heat. This is so far one of the greatest tools that I have in my pocket to keep me nice and cool. Besides the towel, extra shirt, bring that along. So I want to thank you guys so much for those questions. I hope I was able to answer your questions within good detail for you to understand at least. Okay, so now I want to get into the comments. I'm going to respond to some of the comments that came in the past maybe like 2 months. These are some of the recent ones. So one of them was, okay, so this is the one I was talking about. There's a few of them that say, you know, this person says that it's not worth it. They told me to come and work for a different delivery service, but again, it's going to work out for some, and it's not going to work out for others. But that's why it's important for you to try things out. You know, if this person did try it out and they feel like it's not for them and a different one worked for them, I'm glad they found what fit. But for me, I've been here now for close to a year, and it's been okay, you know. So again, like, try it out. You know, don't base it on other people's opinions, because at the end of the day, here's the truth of it all. If you feel and this is something that I did too, and I know that you probably think the same way, but when I first was looking at this job, I wanted to try it. I wanted to, but I was looking at videos just to see, you know, like what other people thought. And there were a lot of videos of why you shouldn't. I quit a week in. There was a lot of negative things about it. But at the end of the, even though there was a lot of those, I still searched for the ones that had something positive to say, or even just the ones that were like, look, I can't tell you what to do, try it out and see for yourself how you like it or don't, you know, because that's what I did want to hear. At the end of the day, you're going to draw yourself more towards what you want to hear, just so that you're reassured that it's going to be okay to try this job. Because it, you know, any job that you're willing to try out, it should be okay whether it works out or not. Just remember that if it works out, this is the path that you're supposed to be on. If it doesn't work out, yes, that's the path you're supposed to be on. Not everyone's path is going to look the same. So if it doesn't work out for you, that just means that you weren't made for that. And that's not supposed to be in a bad way. It just means that, yes, you weren't made for that. You were built different. You were built for something else. You know what I mean? So look at it that way. You know, I would say don't try to like screw the job and the job sucks and da-da-da-da-da. Like, look, it's not going to make you feel any better by dogging the job. You know, just take what it is and, hey, look, the job just wasn't for me. That's all I can say. So when when someone's coming out saying it's not worth it, like, yeah, it may not be, you know, but I think that it is. So, okay, so that was 8 hours ago. That came in 8 hours ago. The next one is 6 days ago. How far are we going? Okay, be very aware of mechanics' facts, because in that van I hit my head, which crunched my neck a bit. It was numb for about a minute and still hurts when I turn it, but I think I'm good. LOL. And yes, true facts. your mechanics, just like in losing weight, you know, if you're going to go work out and lift weights, you need to have good form and technique in order for you to get the most out of your workout. You don't want to just go there and all willy-nilly try to do motions that look like what other people are doing. If you want to get big, if you want to lose weight, you got to do things a certain way, not just doing them willy-nilly. You know what I mean? So yeah, even this job, you got to lift stuff up, you got to turn, you got to get up. So even those small things like turning in your van to get up off your seat and into the back, you have to be aware. Like he said, he tried to scoot in, I get it, and he hit his head, you know. So yes, be very aware of your mechanics. Thank you for that comment. The next one is 12 days ago. It says, are you still there? I'm coming from trucking, really trying to come aboard at 55. Yes, I'm still here, and I applaud you for trying to come on at 55 from trucking. I'm 40. This is my first time doing delivery service, and hey, it's a great way to, yes, stay in shape, get your workout, get your walking, get your steps in. And at 55, you should be good, dude. If you're coming from trucking, you should be all good, bro. If you have any questions, let me know. Hit me up. Yeah? Okay, next question, or next thing is 13 days ago. Says, I love this. I start training Thursday and I have 2 job offers on the line and I want to make sure I'm making the right decision. I hope so. So again, this comes into the whole, like, is it worth it? Is it not? It's really up to you. You're going to find out. The fact that she's starting training, or she started training, I hope that it did work out for you. If it didn't work out for you, you know, I hope that the next venture in your life or the other 2 jobs that you have on the line, I hope one of those work out for you, regardless of whatever it is. Look, I hope that you got the experience that you needed from it, right? This one came in 2 months ago. This person says, no way in hell is it worth it. There we go. See, again, like, people are going to have their opinions. They're going to feel certain ways about it, just depending on what you're willing to put up with. It could be something as small as, I don't like the management, I don't like my coworkers, I don't like the vans. I've heard those excuses to be the reasons why people quit, but they're small things to me, because the only thing that I'm focused on is the pay. Right? If you're miserable at work, you're going to hate your job, you're going to hate what you do, you're going to be miserable at home, you're going to pass that on to the people around you, and that's not worth it, you know? So yes, if it's not worth it to you, don't do it. If you feel that way, don't do it. Go somewhere else, go do something else. You know, you got to find out who you are, and you are made up of so many different things, right? You are not just one thing, you are not just one ability, you are many abilities. You're not just one talent, you're many talents. So go find out what that is, and the only way to find what that is by experiencing different things, experience different jobs. Don't just go for that straight and narrow, like, once you're out of high school, I need to find a career. Like, this is the reason why a lot of times when people have midlife crises, is because they never got to adventure off and explore themselves. So go explore yourself and find out whether it is worth it for you or not, because everyone's going to be different. Everyone's worth is different, right? So yeah, anyways, all right, you guys, I hope I was able to answer all your questions, concerns, comments. I hope I was able to give you some knowledge that you can now go off into the world and put into play. You know what I mean? All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. If this video helped you out in any kind of way, please hit that like button, because it really does help out the channel and letting YouTube know that you guys are liking the content that I'm putting out for all of y'all. And if you're new to this channel and you made it all the way to the end and you've been joining us on some of the adventures and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, all I ask is that just consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you want, hit that notification bell. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. All right, you guys, let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace and a double peace.